The news of the Newman Empire's collapse had spread through Genoa City like a winter storm, icy and relentless, leaving speculation and whispered conversations in its wake. For Adam Newman, however, the fallout wasn't just corporate, it was personal. Pride wounded and options dwindling, he found himself chasing a path he had once abandoned, retracing steps into a past he'd tried to outgrow. Las Vegas shimmered beneath neon lights when Adam arrived, the desert air carrying the familiar hum of risk and opportunity. Years ago, he had walked these streets under a different name, Spider, a shadowy gambler who thrived in the margins between danger and brilliance. That identity had served him well once. Now, it might be the only card he had left to play. He expected a reunion when he entered the discreet side entrance of a private casino lounge. Instead, he found the cold barrel of a gun aimed squarely at his chest. "Hands behind your head," Riza Thompson ordered, her voice steady but edged with unmistakable tension. Adam froze, studying her face carefully. Tina Cassiani's return to Las Vegas society had been whispered about in certain circles, but Adam hadn't anticipated this. Riza stood poised and unflinching, her dark eyes sharp with suspicion. "Easy," Adam said calmly, raising his hands. "It's me." "I know exactly who it is," Riza shot back. "That's the problem." He obeyed, interlocking his fingers behind his head as instructed. The movement stirred old memories, late-night strategy sessions, whispered alliances, near misses that had cemented their bond years ago. Back then, she had trusted Spider. She had relied on him, but Adam Newman was another matter entirely. "You've got 5 seconds to tell me why you're here," Riza continued, "and you better make it good." Adam exhaled slowly. "I came to see an old friend." Her lips twitched, but the gun didn't lower. "Spider doesn't exist anymore, and if you're looking for Matt, you're walking into territory that doesn't belong to you." So Matt Clark had warned her. Adam wasn't surprised. Matt had always been 2 moves ahead, calculating and protective of his assets. And lately, Riza had become more than just an asset. "I'm not here to cause trouble," Adam insisted. "I need an opportunity. The Newman name doesn't carry the weight it used to." "That's your family's problem," Riza replied, "not ours." Adam searched her expression for a flicker of the loyalty they once shared. "I can bring value, you know I can." Silence stretched between them. The casino's distant music pulsed faintly through the walls, a reminder that fortunes were changing hands just beyond this private standoff. Finally, Riza lowered the gun slightly, though she didn't holster it. "You think you can just slip back into the game because things got rough back home?" "It's not about rough," Adam said carefully, "it's about survival." She studied him, weighing his words. "Matt doesn't trust the Newmans." "He shouldn't," Adam admitted, "but this isn't about them, it's about me." Riza stepped closer, the tension in her posture unmistakable. "If you're lying, I won't hesitate." "You never did," Adam replied with a faint, almost nostalgic smile. For a fleeting moment, something softened in her eyes, but it vanished quickly. "You'll talk to Matt," she decided, "but understand this, if he thinks you're here to expose him or drag him into your family's mess, you won't leave Vegas the same way you came." Adam nodded. It wasn't the warm welcome he'd hoped for, but it was an opening. Back in Genoa City, Sharon Newman wasn't thinking about Las Vegas or secret alliances. She was staring out the window of crimson lights, her mind consumed with her daughter's upcoming trial. Mariah Copeland had always carried the weight of her emotions deeply. The guilt she felt over Dominic Winter's abduction had grown heavier with each passing day, and Sharon feared it was beginning to crush her. When Christine Blair Romalotti called and asked to meet at the athletic club, Sharon knew it wasn't casual. Christine was already seated when Sharon arrived, a folder open before her. Her expression was composed, but urgency flickered beneath the surface. "Thank you for coming," Christine said. "You sounded serious," Sharon replied, sliding into the chair across from her. "I am," Christine confirmed. "Mariah's court date is approaching faster than any of us would like." Sharon's stomach tightened. "She's not ready." "That's exactly what worries me." Christine leaned forward. "Mariah is overwhelmed by shame. She keeps circling back to the idea of changing her plea to guilty." Sharon's eyes widened. No, that would destroy her. It would limit our options, Christine agreed. If she sticks with the not guilty plea, I can argue diminished capacity and push for a mental health facility instead of prison, but if she pleads guilty outright, my hands are tied. Sharon absorbed the weight of that information. She thinks she deserves punishment. She deserves help, Christine corrected firmly. Sharon nodded slowly. What do you need from me? I need you to reach her in a way I can't, Christine said. She trusts you, she listens to you. If you can convince her to stay the course, just long enough for us to present the right defense, I can protect her. Sharon felt the familiar surge of maternal determination rising within her. I won't let her sabotage her own future. I know, Christine said softly, that's why I called you. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, Adam was escorted through a back corridor toward a private penthouse suite overlooking the Strip. Riza walked slightly ahead of him, the gun now concealed but still present in the tension between them. You and Matt, Adam ventured quietly, that's news. Riza didn't turn around. People change. Do they? Adam asked. She stopped abruptly, pivoting to face him. We adapt. The door to the suite opened before Adam could respond. Matt Clark stood inside, his expression unreadable. Spider, Matt said evenly, or do you prefer Adam these days? Adam stepped forward, either works. Matt gestured for him to enter. The suite was luxurious but minimalist, every detail intentional. Riza tells me you're here looking for opportunity. I am. Matt poured himself a drink but didn't offer one to Adam. The Newman empire falls, and suddenly you remember you have friends in Vegas. I never forgot, Adam replied. I just hoped I wouldn't need to come back. Matt's gaze sharpened, and now you do. Adam didn't deny it. What exactly are you proposing? Matt asked. A partnership, Adam answered carefully. I bring strategic oversight, risk assessment, expansion ideas. You provide the platform. Matt considered him for a long moment. You're asking me to trust a Newman when your family has a history of swallowing allies whole. I'm not my father, Adam said quietly. No, Matt agreed. You're not. That might be the only reason we're having this conversation. Riza leaned against the wall, watching both men closely. You'll start small, Matt decided. A trial arrangement. If you prove useful, we'll discuss more. Adam nodded. It wasn't victory, but it was survival. Back in Genoa City, Sharon found Mariah sitting alone in the park, staring at the frozen pond. Mom, Mariah said softly when she noticed her. Sharon sat beside her. Christine told me you've been thinking about changing your plea. Mariah's shoulders sagged. I hurt people, Dominic, Devon, Abby. I can't pretend it didn't happen. No one's pretending, Sharon said gently, but punishment isn't the same as healing. I deserve consequences. You deserve treatment, Sharon insisted. You were spiraling, you weren't yourself. Mariah's voice cracked. What if the judge doesn't see it that way? Then we make sure he does, Sharon replied firmly. Christine has a plan, but she can't execute it if you give up. Mariah stared at the water, silent tears slipping down her cheeks. I'm scared, she admitted. Sharon wrapped an arm around her. So am I, but you're not facing this alone. Across the country, Adam stepped onto the balcony of Matt's suite, the desert wind cool against his skin. The city glittered below, alive with ambition and risk. He had re-entered the game, but this time the stakes felt higher. Loyalty was fragile, alliances were conditional, and Riza's watchful eyes reminded him that one misstep could cost him everything. Still, Adam Newman had never been one to shy away from danger. He stared out at the lights of Las Vegas and allowed himself a single thought. This was only the beginning. The desert night stretched endlessly beyond the glass balcony doors, neon reflecting in Adam Newman's eyes as he stood alone with his thoughts. Las Vegas had always been a city that rewarded nerve and punished hesitation. He knew that better than anyone. Years ago, as Spider, he had built a reputation on reading people, anticipating tells, calculating odds before anyone else at the table even realized they were in play. But this time, he wasn't just gambling with money. He was gambling with trust. Inside the penthouse suite, Matt Clark watched him through the open doors, weighing him as one might assess a high-stakes wager. Riza Thompson remained near the bar, her posture relaxed but her attention sharp. She hadn't said much since Matt offered Adam a tentative trial arrangement, but her silence spoke volumes. She was protective of Matt, of their operation, of the delicate ecosystem they'd constructed in the shadows of the Strip. Adam finally stepped back inside. "So," Matt said evenly, swirling the amber liquid in his glass, "you understand that this isn't charity." "I wouldn't respect it if it were," Adam replied. Matt's mouth curved faintly. "Good, because what we do here requires precision, discretion, and absolute loyalty." Adam's gaze flicked briefly to Riza before returning to Matt. "I don't make commitments lightly." "No," Matt agreed, "you don't. That's why I'm giving you this opportunity. But make no mistake, if I sense even a hint that you're using us as leverage in your family's war, you'll regret it." Adam didn't flinch. "I'm not here for my family." "Then what are you here for?" Riza asked quietly. He met her eyes. "A second chance." The room fell silent. It wasn't an answer either of them expected. Matt studied him carefully. "Second chances are expensive." "I'm prepared to pay," Adam said. Matt set his drink down. "You'll start tomorrow. There's a private event at one of our exclusive tables. High-profile clients, big money. I want you observing. No interference unless I signal." Adam nodded. "Understood." "And Adam," Matt added, "if anyone asks, Spider is back, nothing more." A flicker of something, perhaps relief, passed through Adam's expression. "Spider it is." As Adam left the suite later that night, Riza followed him into the hallway. "You surprised him," she said quietly. "Is that good or bad?" Adam asked. "That depends on whether you're telling the truth." He studied her face. "About what?" "Second chances." Adam hesitated. "I've made mistakes, more than I can count, but I'm not looking to burn this place down, I'm looking to rebuild something." "Just be sure you're not rebuilding it on us," she warned. Their eyes held for a long moment, history, tension, and something unresolved hanging between them. "Good night, Riza," Adam said softly. She didn't respond until he'd turned away. "Don't make me regret this, Spider." Back in Genoa City, Sharon sat at her kitchen table long after Mariah had gone upstairs to rest. The conversation in the park had been raw, painful, but necessary. Mariah's fear was palpable, her shame even more so. Sharon could see how deeply the guilt over Dominic Winter's abduction had burrowed into her daughter's heart. The front door opened quietly, and Faith stepped inside, glancing toward the kitchen. "Mom," she asked gently. "I'm here." Faith slid into the chair beside her. "How's Mariah?" "She's scared," Sharon admitted, "but she's trying." Faith nodded slowly. "She's always been strong." "Yes," Sharon agreed, "but even strong people need help sometimes." Faith reached across the table, squeezing her mother's hand. "You'll make sure she gets it." Sharon smiled faintly. "I'm going to try." The next morning, Sharon met Christine Blair Romalotti at the courthouse. Christine's briefcase was packed with legal briefs, psychiatric evaluations, and carefully crafted arguments. "Did you talk to her?" Christine asked immediately. "I did," Sharon confirmed. "She's still wrestling with the idea of pleading guilty." Christine exhaled. "We can't let that happen." "She's terrified of looking like she's making excuses," Sharon explained. "She thinks acknowledging mental health issues will make her seem weak." "It won't," Christine insisted. "It will make her human and it may save her future." Sharon's voice softened. "She needs to hear that from you." "I'll meet with her again today," Christine promised. "But she has to trust that this strategy isn't about avoiding responsibility, it's about finding the right consequences." Sharon nodded. "I'll keep reinforcing that." Across the country, Adam entered the private casino floor reserved for Matt's most elite clientele. The atmosphere was hushed, luxurious, thick with money and secrecy. Crystal chandeliers glimmered above velvet-lined tables where fortunes could shift in a single hand. Adam took his place near the edge of the room, hands casually in his pockets, observing. Matt stood at the central table, commanding attention with calm authority. Riza moved seamlessly among guests, charming and attentive. It felt familiar, the rhythm, the tension, the unspoken understanding that everyone present was chasing something: control, escape, power. A wealthy investor from overseas began to lose heavily, frustration tightening his jaw. Adam watched closely, recognizing the signs of impulsive escalation. Matt caught his eye and gave the faintest nod. Adam stepped forward smoothly. Perhaps a brief pause would be wise, he suggested politely to the investor. Even the best players benefit from stepping back. The man bristled at first but then hesitated. You think I'm off my game? I think you're capable of better, Adam replied evenly, and I'd hate for impatience to cost you an otherwise brilliant evening. The flattery worked. The investor leaned back, signaling a temporary break. Matt's expression remained neutral, but approval flickered in his eyes. Later, in a quieter corner, Matt approached Adams. Good instinct, he said simply. I've seen that spiral before, Adam replied. Yes, Matt agreed, you have. Riza joined them. You handled that well. Adam inclined his head slightly, just trying to add value. Matt studied him for another long moment. You did tonight, we'll see if that continues. Back in Genoa City, Mariah sat across from Christine in a small conference room, hands clasped tightly in her lap. I keep replaying it, Mariah admitted. What I did, how scared Dominic must have been. Christine's voice was gentle but firm. Guilt is natural, but it can't dictate your legal strategy. I don't want to hide behind mental health, Mariah said. You're not hiding, Christine countered. You're acknowledging reality. You were in crisis, that matters. Mariah swallowed hard. If I plead guilty, at least I'm owning it. And potentially forfeiting the chance to receive treatment instead of incarceration, Christine reminded her. This isn't about escaping consequences. It's about choosing the right path forward. Mariah closed her eyes briefly. My mom thinks I should stick with not guilty. She loves you, Christine said softly, and she's right. Tears filled Mariah's eyes. I don't want to disappoint anyone anymore. You won't, Christine assured her, but you have to trust us. After a long silence, Mariah nodded slowly. Okay, I'll keep the plea as is. Relief washed over Christine's face. That's the right decision. As night fell once more in Las Vegas, Adam stood beside Riza on the balcony of the penthouse. You proved yourself tonight, she admitted quietly. It's one night, Adam replied, hardly proof of anything. It's a start. He glanced at her. Are you happy? The question caught her off guard. With what? With Matt, with this. Riza looked out at the city lights. It's stable, it's ours. And me being here. She hesitated. Complicates things. Adam gave a faint smile. I've always had that effect. Don't flatter yourself, she said, though there was no real bite in her tone. Inside, Matt watched them briefly before turning away. He understood ambition. He understood loyalty. What he didn't tolerate was divided allegiance. In Genoa City, Sharon tucked Mariah into a tight embrace before heading home. The road ahead would be difficult, but at least now there was direction, hope for treatment, for healing. As Sharon walked through the quiet streets, she allowed herself a fragile optimism. Families fractured, empires fell, people stumbled, but sometimes with the right support they found their footing again. In Las Vegas, Adam leaned against the railing, the wind brushing past him. He had re-entered a dangerous world, one built on calculated risk and fragile trust. Matt was watching him. Riza was torn. And back in Genoa City, the Newman name still carried expectations he couldn't fully escape. Second chances, he had said. Now he would have to prove he deserved ones. Above him, the desert sky stretched vast and indifferent. Below, the strip pulsed with endless possibility. And somewhere between redemption and ruin, Adam Newman stood poised, ready to gamble once more. If you enjoy Y&R spoilers, updates, and daily drama, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.